I've posted this video essentially it's for a player named Lawrence, but it actually covers a lot of the things that most players do. Now, Lawrence was asking about the fact that his leg work wasn't very good. He felt like his legs were collapsed. So I'll actually speak to Lawrence in this video. So Lawrence, when you said that your legs collapse, that's what we see during the golf swing. If I mimic your golf swing, we can see from the top of the swing, as you're swinging down, your legs will drop and your left elbow bends and the club comes into line with your left arm very early in the swing. The issue is actually more to do with your arm and hand tension than it is to do with your legs. So what I'm going to do is I want to give you a couple of drills to work through. And I'll explain how you work through them and then how it fits in with your golf swing. And I'm sure that this is going to be a pretty common theme with a lot of other people who'll see this video as well. First of all, if we address the fact that when you swing the club toward the ball, the club swings into line with your left forearm very early, and as you're swinging through impact, your left elbow's bending. Now, if I hold the club right in my fingertips and turn my body away from the target and then toward the target, and if you do that on your phone and you have a look at your swing in slow motion, you'll see that the club trails your arms as you're approaching impact. Your body movement will be pretty good, and your left arm will be straight all the way through the downswing. And the reason that it's straight is because the force in the golf swing, provided your arm's soft, is actually going to work to keep your arms straight. Because remember, when you're swinging the golf club, as the club's swinging down and through, you're creating a force that's going along the length of the shaft. You're not creating a force to direct toward the ball or toward the target. So that's the first thing. Arms need to be a lot softer. So the way that I'll get you to do that is to hold the club and keep your wrists as loose as you can and then make really small swings. So I feel like my chest is actually moving my arms and the club back and through. And you can see when I get to about here in my backswing where my arm's slow, the swinging weight of the club head actually hinges my wrists. When I change direction, I'm allowing the club to trail behind my wrist because, again, I'm just playing with the swinging weight of it. If I hold the club in my fingertips, swing it back and change direction, the club actually wants to hinge up because its momentum is going that way. So when I swing the club back toward the ball, if anything, the club wants to hinge more. That's through momentum. That's not a wrist manipulation. As I'm approaching the ball, my arms actually do slow, and that allows the club head to catch up to the ball. So the whole time my arms feel like spaghetti. And make sure it's cooked spaghetti and not raw spaghetti. So very, very soft as you're swinging back and through. This is to get the feel of the drill. You'll need to do it slowly and you'll need to do it with short swings. Then you can gradually build up the range of movement and the speed of the movement. So that's the first thing. Next, we need to get the body moving all that. So now if we tackle what's happening with your legs, what we saw in the video is that as the club swung down and through, you'll get in the downswing, both legs would collapse. What I'm looking for is a transfer of momentum through your body. So if you were to jump, you'd be pushing your feet into the ground. The ground doesn't move, so you come up. You do it quickly enough and you jump. If you're taking a free throw in basketball, you'll flex your knees, push into the ground, and then that momentum transfers up through your body and eventually into your hands. So many actions that we do where our feet are in contact with the ground, it operates the same way, and the golf swing's no different. So the movement, if I isolate my lower body movement from the top of my backswing, as I'm swinging down, my hips are turning toward the target and I'm applying some pressure to the ground through my feet, subtly, because I don't want to jump. But as I'm swinging down, there's a little pressure going into the ground through my left foot. There's also a little pressure going into the ground through my right foot, but sort of at about the same angle as what the shaft is. Now the combination of those two things helps twist my hips and also makes me feel like my body is almost corkscrewing up. Now when I swing a golf club, my body's not going to do that. It will actually help to transfer that momentum. So what I want you to do is I want you to practice, turn back, and then apply pressure into the ground through your feet, just softly, and actually feel how that lets your hips turn, and it actually feels like your body is actually coming up. So you can see at this point here, which is about at impact for me, my left knee is straight, it's not locked, it's straight, and my right knee is actually flexed. As I continue that movement to the finish of my swing, it'll look normal. Okay, so now we need to put those two things together. I want you to practice them in isolation. So practice the soft arms back and through to get the feel of it. Whether you're swinging very gently into an impact bag or a cushion, or if you don't have one of those on the range, then just practice allowing the club to swing back and through gently, and feel how it is actually the swinging weight of the club head that does the work. So now if you put them together, if I make a short swing, when I get down to here, as the club's approaching the ball, I get the feel of what my lower body's doing. So I'm applying pressure to the ground, and that actually makes my club swing faster through impact. So as I'm swinging down, letting my body push through. If you watch the best players in the world, male and female, they all do this. Now, of course, if you're watching it on television, unless it's in super slow-mo, it's actually going to occur very quickly. The pattern is the same, male or female. The most powerful hitters do it very, very quickly. So practice that movement, back to here, apply pressure to the ground through your feet, and get the feeling of how that all sequences to give your club momentum. Try that with really short shots to begin with, gradually build up the speed, and then gradually build up the length of the swing as well. Because what you'll find is if you do it too early, if you try and swing the club with full swing, full speed too early, you will automatically revert to the learned pattern and no change will take place. So you must do it slowly, you must do it with care and attention to what you're doing, and then break it up, do the two drills separately, and then put them together.